Okay. Hey, black women. I'm gonna try to be very calm about this one, right? All right. So I went through a lot of videos today because I saw them popping up all over the place, right? So I want to talk specifically about Chrissy, right? And Matrix Exposed video. Okay. This is just my opinion because I'm older than both of them, right? Okay. Always keep in mind that all these black women on here are always trying to claim the first and the ownership over everything, as if no other black woman actually has intelligence, has an opinion or actual lived experience to share and teach you something that is very, very real outside of their opinion and them thinking that because they come on and they may speak more articulately than somebody like me who speaks very gutturally. And I'll tell you why. Because I'm not on YouTube to care about what white people's opinion of me is. I'm not looking for anybody to come and ask me to be on a show or think that my dysfunction is something to glorify, as they did with Risa Tisa, right? So that other black women can do that same stupid shit, so that we could be continuing the cycle of being used by America to fuel their economy. Now, it's one thing I want to say today, right, about Chrissy's video in particular. She did make a point to try to say that all of us misfits who are supposedly leading the charge in either decentering men, 4B movement, and everything to get rid of men, that we are psychologically and traumatically scarred women. And that's true. But you know what else is true? Please show me a black woman, period, who has not been altered or in some way impacted by black males. And don't tell me that there's so many black women out here who have never had issues with black men, never can, because that's a lie. Because every one of us, outside of us living with our family, we go outside in the street and we encounter people we don't know. So that is a lie. But what I didn't like about her whole video, and believe me, I didn't go through the whole thing, because when I hear all of that pretentious bullshit, it starts getting on my nerves. I just turned it off, right? The whole thing, like, she's giving like backhanded insults, right? Or a little bit of shade, as y'all call it, right? So it's like, you know, she says what she has to say about us, right? Which is that be careful of the messenger, because, you know, we're supposed to be trying to lead you the wrong way and making you think so negatively about guys. And this is my thing with her and every other woman that does this. Why are you out here trying to make an argument for black males? Why are you out here trying to make an argument for women to continue to have relationships with black males when they are detrimental to black women in every way? You ever notice how she never really goes into detail about black femicide or wants to cover that at all? You know why they don't do that? It is the same way people like Burb and Bougie, who recently got demonetized, doesn't understand that you are not a white woman. And even though you think you're playing it safe, right, by having these huge platforms where you only talk about pity pat stuff and you skirt around the seriousness of things that affect black women not to offend white people, and you include white people in your programming, and you let them on your show, and you try to make it seem like I'm all for white people and I'm totally against black women. You will never catch me trying to advocate for black women, even though I am one. I hate black women, but I only pretend like I'm concerned with their welfare. When you do that, it's the same example I use all the time about how white people don't care about you or your platform or how much you try to dance around the issue. When it's your turn to be demonetized and thrown the fuck off YouTube, you will go too, right? So don't be the cat that goes to dog school thinking you're a dog. Okay, because it doesn't matter. And if you remember history, you know, the thing that they like to run away from all the time, all of them, whenever you start talking about the true nature of white people and black males, all of a sudden it's like, oh no, that's not true. That was a long time ago. What are you talking about? The fact that there are over 200,000 black women and girls missing, taken by black femicide, and human trafficked, right, is enough for every black woman to say, these dudes are dangerous, and I don't want shit to do with them. And that has nothing to do with you being traumatized, a victim of theirs, because all black women are, and having a bad attitude towards them. You know what it is? It's facing the fucking facts. But when you have big platforms and you have all these people to continuously convince that shit is not as fucked up as it is, you want to try to make people think that there's some hope out there. You know that unicorn and the rainbow they talk about, people chase? Well, they throw that out there for you to believe that it's actually able to be caught. So when I was listening to her, I'm just saying to myself, like, what is the problem? Why is it that every time when black women get on a roll to literally get away from black males, it's always some black content creator that comes out of nowhere and tries to drag the black women right back into thinking about, oh, it is still possible for you to find a decent dude and have a relationship with them, you know, even though tons of women all across the world are being beat half to death. They're literally being killed by these dudes, and their children are being killed by them. Their daughters are being raped on a daily basis and killed on a daily basis. They're being trafficked into sexual slavery. They're also being put into local prostitution because you know these bums don't work. And if you look at any videos from the Bay Area in California, you will see how they're stealing our little girls from all over the country and taking them to the Bay in order to make quick money and to terrorize those girls for the rest of their lives. There are all types of videos on YouTube that show you the actual stories of people who live on the street and sell themselves to survive. Every one of those stories is a traumatic story where they were abused, sexually assaulted, beat, threatened with death and violence if they did not go out there and live life like that. Even the ones that have grown accustomed to living like that. So these are the things, these are the realities of life. That when these women come on here, and the majority of the time, all they do is come on here and talk down on black women, right? And always give a million excuses as to why you should still be trying to get into a relationship with a black male. Even though now, in addition to all that shit I just said, they don't ever want to keep bringing to your attention the fact that these dudes don't graduate from high school, let alone have any education to get them a decent wage earning job where they can actually contribute to life, to the household, to whatever it is they want in life. They don't do that. But what they do is they go and sit down and have barbershop conversations with the Kennedy's family and try to make deals with white people to allow them to get out of their responsibility of paying child support, because they have made it a part of a rites of passage in their bumhood to go out and sleep with as many women as they can and impregnate them. All of them. Not that small collective group that they keep trying to blame on all of the single parent homes that are created. That's not true. Right? So all these things about the way these guys truly act is their nature. You don't need Prince Ella. You don't need women on Reddit or anybody else to tell you how men act. You know it. You just refuse to accept it. Okay? When I was listening to Matrix tonight, she was talking about a certain type of woman that lives in poverty and who likes to continue the cycle of poverty, which is true. But the other thing that is also true is that once people are given access to education and they're given access to the ability to change their life by information that leads to better employment, counseling that leads to explaining and showing them how to get out of the horrible cycles of abusive patterns that they have learned over time, or that they were even taught growing up, right? All of these things are correctable. But when no one is really speaking about these things to black women, how do all of these women that come out with so many opinions that are always just bashing black women, right? How do these women not understand that if no one is explaining to these women where to go to seek out this information to do better in their lives, how do you expect them to do better? They're never going to do better. And what I really want all these black women to do on here, especially these big, huge content creators like Chrissy, right? And small ones like Nosy Neighbor Lady, who, since she thinks everybody's talking about her all the time, I'll give her an official shout out now so she can feel good about herself, right? Stop trying to convince black women that they need relationships and that they need these black males. Why is it that you all refuse to accept the facts of the situation? How many black males have come on this YouTube and every other social media platform and told the whole world they hate black women? How many black women do they have to kill for you to understand that they really hate black women? Secondly, how many videos does Antoine Daniels have to make for you to understand that they hate black women? How many videos does Tommy Sotomayor and all the rest of those fucking loser lunatics who are uglier than fuck? How many videos do they have to make for y'all to understand that they hate black women? How many random stupid black motherfuckers have to roam the streets of our cities in this country, especially mine, New York City, and attack women in the street, black women in the street? And y'all don't understand that they don't like black women. They really hate you. And they literally tell you that on podcasts. What, y'all don't remember how disgusting Fresh and Fit and all those stupid motherfuckers were and are? They're disgusting. And this is all natural, real hatred for you. And it is an extension of their projection about their inability to really be men. Think about it. They have nothing in society besides the stereotype of them having a big dick and being able to fuck good. Not that they're smart, productive, good fathers, good people, and people who provide for their community. No, no, no. They're not known for any of those things that most other men are known for. They are known for the bad qualities that all men possess. Beating women, killing women, being a misogynist through and through, wanting to grow patriarchy to the extent where a woman and girls only live to serve males. And that our humanity and the fact that we actually have a right to our bodies and our own humanity and our own lives and our own choices and whatever we want to do in life should be taken away from us. Like, these are the reality of things. And I don't care. I'm going to say it, and I don't give a fuck who gets upset. All of these women that constantly talk about the possibility of relationships and how things should be different for every woman when it comes to these black dudes, they really still like black dudes themselves. And because they have the desire and the longing to be in relationships with these dysfunctional motherfuckers, they feel like every other woman does too. And they might be right because of the conditioning we have been put through for so many years, right? But when you get to the point where you become like me, right, and you really care about other black women and you don't just say that shit like all of these content creators, they all talk shit because you know I'm right. Because you see none of them care about contacting me in reference to participating or helping out with the Black Femicide March, right? You see that, right? And I don't give a fuck if you don't like me or not. You're not doing it for me. You're doing it for other black women and for the black women who were taking from us. But this is how you know they're all full of shit. Because believe me, if this was happening to white women, just listen to the example, right? And it was out of control. Do you know how many white women would come together, even if you knew publicly they had problems with each other? They would all come together and work with their issue because they have a common ground, because it concerns them. The black women on here, they don't do that. And when a person like me, who's the outlier, always talks about that, what do? They come on here and they make sure they make videos to shoot down everything about sisterhood, everything about black women caring and thinking about each other. And then they do the ultimate level of disrespect. They pull that Princella Bourbon bougie bullshit where they want to include all the other women in our situation, when all the other women are not being killed the way we are. All the other women are not being beat as much by domestic violence the way we are. And all the other women, historically, every time they get involved with our movements that concern us and the social conditions we have to live in that are detrimental to us as black women and girls, they hijack the shit and make it all about them, and we end up losing, and no one cares about anything worse than we started out in trying to get help for ourselves. No one cares about us. We get buried underneath the rubble when all these other women join in our stuff. But you know, it's crazy because all these people that claim they care about black women, they don't. They really don't. They just like to have the money roll in. And when the money stops coming in, the first thing they do is talk about going to Patreon, where they can continue to demand money for the bullshit they're talking about. But not once do they ever think about doing anything for black women that will help black women. Like, do you know how powerful it would be, you guys, if every black woman YouTuber on here that supposedly cares about black women would do a live with each other one day? And even if you couldn't do all of them at one time, you just stream at the same time about the same message, which is black femicide. Do you know how fucking powerful that would be? But they would never do that because they don't really care about black women. They only care about, like, what did Bourbon Bougie say? It was a gut punch that she lost her money from her channel. Because that's really what it's all about. But you better believe it. And I had told you guys when it happened to Cynthia, they're going to take all those black women down for one reason or the other. And believe me, when they come after your channel, because they did it to me, it doesn't have to be about what you're saying on your channel that they think is offensive. It could be some old corny shit like, oh, you got hit with a copyright strike one too many times, or somebody complained about you making bad comments on their page one too many times. And now by saying that, let me just put that out here. And for all the people that go around saying that about other content creators, especially me, the way that Nosy Neighbor Lady tries to say that stupid shit about me harassing people in their comments, let me tell you, my dear, what goes around comes around. And if you go trying to put bad shit in people's lives, believe me, you're going to get it 5 times over. And if you would stop drinking, you probably wouldn't have all the problems that you got. And that's real. Because that shit is so insulting to me, for somebody to say I'm harassing people when I speak my mind, because they're so busy always being complacent and passive aggressive. You understand what I mean? Like, I remember they was doing that stupid shit to me in what is that, Atari's channel. Like, whenever I would give them a different opinion, it was always like Westerners attack the New Yorker, and oh, you think you know everything, or oh, you think you're somebody. You motherfucking right, I know I'm somebody. I don't think it, I know it for a fucking fact. And it's like that type of shit that they do all over here, which is why every problem is going to keep continuing with black women, because the people who watch these videos who are non-black, they sit here and they study our behaviors and the way we attack each other and how we try to push each other out of the way for being called a top dog, right? Okay. And that's the same way the black males look and know that stuff too, innately, because they grew up in the same households with us. And the whole point of all of this, to get to the bottom of it, is when you get to the point, young black women, right, where you only care about yourself, which is what you should have always been doing. Remember I used to say in my old videos before they took my channel, whatever happened to those independent women? Remember that? When I don't need a man, I'm independent, I could do things by myself. They shamed you out of that. When if you would have stayed in that headspace, do you know how far along in the game you would be by now? Because you got to always keep all this shit in mind. You got the white people trying to tear us down. 2030, they want 50% of us unemployed. 2050, they want all of us destitute, right? And they're working on it. They're making everything way more expensive to live. Your pay is not increasing. And they keep increasing housing, rent, and everything else, right? So it's gotten to the point by now, black women, when you guys should have it click in your head. This is what Matrix said that was actually on point, and said many other times by many other content creators, including myself. Start staying with other women. Sisters, pool your money together and start taking care of each other. The same way our foremothers did through the civil rights era and before that. Pool and come together. Live in the same homes and houses with each other. Get rid of the males. Make sure the lady or women you're with are just as serious as you are about paying bills, being responsible, saving money, making money, and taking good care of your children. It's that fucking simple. We don't need 1,000 lives and 1,000 videos. It's that simple. And my young girls who are in situations where you're putting your head on your hand and thinking that life is never going to change for you, it does, my sister. And it can. One day at a fucking time. And when you take the time to sit down and start researching the resources and the programs wherever you live to help you get out of domestic violence, to help you get your GED if you don't have one, or what do you have to do to get this job you're trying to get, all that stuff will, day after day you keep working at it, will get you to where you want to be. Also, don't forget that there are tons of community resources. There are a bunch of mentors and programs that will help women get their lives back on track and grow you personally better than you ever thought was possible. You just got to go out there, search this stuff out, or go sit down with someone to explain these things to you. Everyone knows public assistance. You can always go in there. They have a business link department in most welfare/social services office. And they will explain to you the things of the state that can help you get better on your feet. And I already told you, whenever you go to www.usa.gov, you can drop the menu down for any state you live in and find out federally what are all the programs offered to help you do better in your life, in your state. So do me a favor, young black women. Do not give up on yourself. Start turning a deaf ear. Don't listen to anybody on YouTube anymore, both woman or guy, that is constantly talking you down and talking about how you ain't shit, how you ain't gonna be shit, you can't be shit, and you don't got shit. When they start doing all of that talking down on you, turn that fucking YouTube off. Go find something positive to watch, or pick up a fucking book and start reading about something that will help you change and expand your intellectual property, your mind, expand your mind. Listen, let me tell you something. The only way things change when things are stagnant and stays the same with an individual is your initiative, your drive, and your get up and go. When you get up and go and you say to yourself, I'm not dealing with this anymore, and I will change this. It's step by step, it's day by day. You will fall down, you will get tired, you will backslide, you will think that you're doing this for nothing. But you go through the moment, because you're entitled to do that. Because this happens to me still too. Like right now, those certificates are overwhelming the fuck out of me, right? That's okay. I'm entitled to take a break, regroup, and then go right back at it. And so are you. So, when you know what's best for you, because only you do. I don't care how many of us come on here and profess to think we know you when we don't. Only you know what's best for you. And you sit down and you think about what is best for you, and then you go after it. And I'm not talking about no fucking guy. I'm talking about you go after your education. You go after the money you want to make in this life. You go after where you want to live, how you want to live in this life. And you don't stop until you get it. Because I'm telling you, there are all types of programs out there for you. You remember I was telling you that I was looking into the rural housing with USDA? I'm still doing that. Because unfortunately in my state, we don't have that many properties that go up on that site. However, I'm not going to give up. The same way I have put in this application for the march, and they sent it back to me once already with so many corrections to make. That's okay. I ain't going to give up. I'm going to keep sending it in until they say yes, and I will even go down there to them in person and try to negotiate. I will. I won't give up until I get what I want. And I want you to be the same way. And I want you to stop taking the abuse from YouTube that you don't have to take. You know what else I noticed too? Because I pay attention to other people's channels and the traffic that used to be on YouTube. Many black women are leaving YouTube. And I also noticed to be a fact because the other day, for some reason, YouTube is always sending me crazy fucking surveys. I guess I'm just so rude and actually real with it. They send it to me to get a real feel, right? And I tell them about everything. I tell them about how much I don't like this anti-black women hate speech you allowed to put on this damn social media platform. I don't like how you allow these black males to tear down and dehumanize black women. And I talk about everybody else and the things that they say that are disgusting and only to black women, and how YouTube makes money off of the tearing down of black women's reputations and their image and their whole opinion by other people of who and what we are based off of ridiculous fucking stereotypes. So yeah, take your time, work at what you're doing. And when this shit offends you, people come on here and try to tell you you don't know how to think and you don't know how to do what's right for you. You show them otherwise. Just go off of YouTube for a little while and then come back. Because let me tell you one thing about America. You want any change in this country, you have to hurt their money. You have to stop their money, and then they listen. When you complain about humanity and justice and equality, they don't give a fuck about that. But the first time, if all black women for like a month, not just a week, remember how all the black people left TikTok and TikTok's basically kissing their ass for them to come back? You could do the same. I keep telling y'all, you could do the same thing on YouTube. We are once again the ones that run this shit too. Everything black women do, everybody follows. We go and we support other people and everybody who never supports us. And if you got off of here, you would see the impact of your absence. You really would. And guess what the most important thing is? YouTube would feel it in their fucking pocket. Because in that survey they sent me, they asked me about 4 or 5 times the same question different ways. Would you ever think about leaving this platform completely and not make any more content? I said, abso-fucking-lutely. Matter of fact, I intend to do that fairly soon. And I explained, because black women are not given equal access to having huge platforms like white women, all other non-black people, and black males. We are always left out of the ability to make money off of YouTube like everyone else on here. And we are always used as the content or the subject on everyone else's channel to make money off of us. I said, and you benefit most of all, YouTube, because you pay people the most when they dehumanize and degrade and talk about black women in the most disgusting way. This is what they do. This is what happens. So when people come on here and all they got to do is tear you down, turn them off or get off YouTube. Don't listen. Because I'm going to tell you something. Subliminal messages are serious. And when people keep coming at you with nothing but negativity and nothing but belittling you and making you feel like you ain't shit and you ain't never going to be shit, a lot of that sticks in your head. So you move away from that negative talk and you go to the positive talk, because the positivity will increase your desire to do something different, to improve yourself, to do better for yourself, and want more for yourself. Because the better you feel about yourself, the more endorphins your body releases. The more energy, the more good and better you feel about yourself, the more you accomplish in life, and the more your self-esteem and self-confidence improves. And let me tell y'all something. I have listened to the bullshit all day about twerking and black women are whores and da-da-da-da. That's all bullshit. Young black women, do me a favor. Read the book Sister Citizen. I have showed this book 1 billion times on both my channels, right? Read Sister Citizen and read 2, 3, 4 times the chapters on black women respectability politics. Read how this country has an invested interest in making you feeling like you're dirty, you're not as good as everybody else, and they must keep you down in order to stand on your back and live off of you, leech off you, right? There ain't nothing wrong with twerking. What you do don't hurt nobody else. If they don't like what the fuck you're doing, they need to turn their head. All that bullshit about you looking like a whore and what men like and are attracted to, fuck men. Fuck what they like and fuck what they're attracted to. Fuck them on a whole. They ain't shit. They ain't out here building houses for black women. They ain't out here being good husbands and good fathers and good people in general. So who gives a fuck about what they want? Okay? Keep that in your mind. Right in the front of your fucking mind. Okay? And always remember that they will kill you and lay you out faster than they will buy you a fucking bouquet of flowers and tell you you look nice today, or give you a real compliment from the fucking heart. So don't you ever give a fuck about what they want. And let people like Chrissy and everybody else that runs that bullshit, let them run it and talk to themselves. Because believe me, you really can do bad by yourself. All by yourself when it comes to black males. They're only going to bring you down. In every way. When you take them in and you have them as a significant other, they take you down. If you're stupid enough to marry them, oh baby, you really going to be taken down. And then you're going to have bad credit. And for a long time be attached to a motherfucker that has done nothing but drug you down. If you want to live like that, you go right ahead. Let me tell you something. From being married twice. If you stay married to them motherfuckers more than 7 years, everything you own, they get half of. Even your fucking pension. So do not marry them, okay? That's all it takes. They get half of your Social Security, everything, even if you divorce them. So stay away from them. Because why the fuck should you take care of a bum for the rest of their life? Why? See, these are all the real life things. All those women that come on here talking you down into the ground and telling you that you still should try to hold on to some hope in finding a relationship with these dudes, they never tell you. Because guess what? They ain't never been through that. I have. And so have many other women. All them women telling their stories and talking about how stupid they were when they got married and what happened to them on Reddit. You don't need to be one of them. Just know that you don't need to marry anybody, because that is a fucking binding contract. And one that you go into designed for women to lose. Don't do it to yourself. There ain't no fantasy or romance in this world worth the shit you're going to encounter. Believe me when I tell you. But I just don't like everybody beating up on black women. Alright? Because some young girls are very impressionable and very sensitive. And all these women and dudes coming on here calling you whores and talking about you ain't shit and you never gonna be shit. They're completely desensitized. They don't give a fuck about black women. It has gotten to the point where it's just something to do now. Just talk down on black women and act like they not human, like they don't have no feelings, and like they're not affected by things that happen to them and other women who are just like them. You gotta let it go, y'all. YouTube ain't that fucking important. Let it go. If all these people want to do on here is talk down about black women, let them talk to their motherfucking selves, and let all the black women with sense get the fuck up off this platform and go improve your life and keep all these black dudes and other dudes out of your life. Because, see, these black dudes have talked on YouTube long enough to the point where everybody feels like it's okay to abuse, kill us, and do whatever the fuck they want to us. Because they got the okay from all these black dudes on YouTube. Don't forget that. Do not forget all those videos we had going in the beginning of this year showing you how they was instructing other people to kill us. And now they're doing it. My poor baby Sade. Don't let any of these black women who have died die in vain. You take in the lesson. Take in the lesson. You don't need a man, but you do need to be able to take care of yourself, love yourself, and know that if it actually comes down to everything, you are good enough. You're good all on your own. You are all you need. It's it. That's it. And you don't need some insecure person coming on here and trying to tell you that you could decenter men while you're in a relationship with them. That is so far from the truth, it's not even funny. When you don't want to be bothered with something, you don't be bothered with it. Because it will wear you down. And then you will go right back to the same old shit that you've been doing. I hope some of this helped. And I really want a lot of you women to just get off YouTube. Just let it go. You know how they make crack jokes and go outside? Please go outside. Go outside. Go outside. Do whatever the fuck you want to do. And let me tell you one more thing about twerking since it crossed my mind. As black women, let me tell y'all something. We are beautiful women. Everybody in the world knows that. We're beautiful in our face. We're beautiful in our spirits. And we're beautiful in our body. If you want to move your body, because twerking is an art. I don't give a fuck what nobody says. Like, you have to work at it to be able to move your body so effortlessly like that. And to get it to listen to your command immediately. You move in muscle. An ass is muscle. That ain't fat. On black women, that is. I don't know about the other women. So when you're moving that and you're controlling that, that is an art. The same way the women in Tahiti have learned to move the pelvic muscles to make their bodies move and throw their ass in a circle faster than you can believe. So I keep saying this and I'm not going to stop. I'm tired of people trying to tear down black women because we have nice asses and the majority of women don't. And because we got nice asses, people get more offended with the fact that you are built differently than other people. And so they feel like it is okay to attack you. Because instead of them looking at the dance or the beauty of the dance, their mind always goes to a degenerate part of thinking about fucking. When people whining in the Caribbean, they ain't thinking about fucking, they're dancing. And so is twerking, because twerking is still an African form of dance, regardless. Because if you think American black women were the first people to think up that and come up with it, you would be wrong. You would be wrong. So, if twerking makes you feel good, it makes you feel sexy, do it. Because guess what? Every other woman in this world, ever since twerking was introduced by black American women, because most white people and other women from other groups could not whine, they could twerk though, because the twerk is not so hard to do. But when you practice, you can put your own twist on it depending on your body makeup and make it look really nice, right? So be proud of the things that you do and whatever makes you feel happy about you. Am I telling you to be completely lewd and disrespectful of yourself and of the situation? No, I'm not. But if you want to twerk because of a bullshit challenge, do that. Because I guarantee you, if you type in white women twerking, you're going to find them shaking their ass too. If you type in Hispanic women, you're going to find them shaking their ass too. Everybody, because all women like to feel beautiful. But because black women are beautiful, exceptionally beautiful, people have a problem because they cannot control us the way they control the other women. I don't know if y'all realize that, but we are like some of the freest women in the world. And we're the most persistent, strong-willed women in the world. But you know what also we have in common? No other women has ever gone through the horror and the crimes against humanity that we have gone through in this country of America by the hands of white America by slavery and everything after slavery up to today, where those same infrastructures still exist in this country and we're still oppressed by it. And those same infrastructures are here to make money for America the same way they did back then. So yeah, it's good to think about all these things I'm talking about in this video and know that just because somebody comes on here screaming about what you do with your body that ain't got shit to do with them trying to go viral, don't watch their video and they won't go viral. Don't go back and forth with them and nobody will give a fuck about them. If you want to do the Megan Thee Stallion challenge, do it and enjoy yourself. When you go outside and you want to color your hair any way you want and look nice and do that creative black girl magic thing, you do what you need to do to make yourself feel good. But at the same time, always respect yourself, educate yourself, and elevate yourself. And you don't need to be taking no classes and learning no dumb shit about femininity, because as long as you were born a woman with a vagina at birth, you are feminine, and it don't get no feminine than that. Femininity is not about how you look, how you talk, how you act, or how you think. You embody femininity because you are a woman, not a female, that ignorant and fucking insulting shit that these ghetto people say. You are a woman, or you are a young woman, or a little girl. Your sex is a female. That is not who you are as a person. You are either a girl, a young woman, or a grown woman. Period. Please stop disrespecting each other by calling us female. It's amazing too how the women who have the most issue with the nonsense that black males do to insult black women often copy and imitate everything these black males do to insult black women. You ever notice? Like they call us that stupid shit of being ratchet, which is a fucking tool or part of another mechanical system, when the word they're looking for is wretched. It's very ignorant. And then instead of them calling you the other woman, they call you dumb shit like side chick. All these words were created by black males to insult black women. And yet black women feel it free, and they feel free to call other black women all these disgusting, derogatory, misogynistic terms. If you feel good about whatever it is you do to yourself, you wear certain lipstick, you wear your hair a certain way, you wear lashes, you do whatever, do it. If you ain't hurting nobody, and you're not being ultimately vulgar to the point where your ass is literally hanging out somewhere, you're fine, okay? Because there are situations where it is appropriate for your ass to be hanging out, i.e. like a beach. If you at the beach, that's appropriate. And also there are other places, boats and etc. So stop listening to all this whore shit. You ain't a whore. They don't, and then you know what? They call you names they don't even know the fucking definition of. A whore has a definition. And if you don't know it, look it up. And I can guarantee it would not be you it's describing. You're not a whore because you want to feel pretty and you want to love your body and show your body. You can do that. Every other woman does it. Why can't you? It's just that you got more ass to show than they do, or more ass to twerk than they do. That's all it is. And that's all that's making all these people upset. And all that bullshit about our reputation and how people see us in the world, that's all bullshit too, because this world is very anti-black. And everybody knows it. They wouldn't give a fuck if you walked around every day in a nurse's uniform, a nun's uniform. They're still going to find a way to talk about how dirty you are as a black woman, because that is the legacy that slavery has bestowed upon us in America and throughout this fucking world. So there's nothing you're ever going to be able to do to make people look at you and say, oh yeah, she's a beautiful woman, beautiful like a white woman or more beautiful. They're not going to say that, because they have been taught and conditioned to think you're trash, even though you are the most valued thing in this entire world. Not because I say so, but because the universe said so. The universe said, I choose these black women as my representation of mankind. You are the first living human being to grace the face of this earth. So you are given the ultimate, I love you and you are the best, by the very thing that has put everything into existence that we know of. So don't you ever hold your head down, and don't you ever let any of these people that want to talk you down into feeling like you're less than nothing feel bad about yourself, because you got everything in the world to feel good about yourself. When you look up into the sky at night, and you could look into forever and see no end to all that twinkling up there and all that darkness, know that whatever it is, whatever force that commands that, it shines down on you and you alone. So don't ever let these people get in your head. It's a goddamn challenge. It's here today, gone tomorrow. All right? And if you got skills, you got skills. And if you're working on your skills, you're working on your skills. But that doesn't make you who you are. You either get out here, live your life, and put each compartment of your life where it belongs to make you one whole functioning person. All right? Don't let these people get to you. They all want to break you. Okay? Instead of trying to encourage you to do better and trying to lead you and show you the way and give you the answer to things, they just want to talk about how you don't know what you're doing. So until they start showing you what to do and stop worrying about not offending white folks and care more about taking care of black people and coming together as black people, they ain't saying nothing. They ain't talking about nothing. All they doing is condemning the same old shit that has been created for us, that we have been living in since we came to this motherfucker. Black women, all things in time, okay? You want something, work hard for it. You want to feel good about yourself, do it. And that's it. Take care of your children and take care of yourself. Take care of your kids if you have them. If you don't, live your life and try not to have them until you absolutely have to, because they're trying to make it where women lose all their rights. If you don't know what these Republicans and conservatives have planned for women, to take all your rights away, in addition to taking abortion away from you, trying to take your contraceptive away from you, please go to Project 2025, project2025.org, and read everything in that manifesto. It will blow your mind away. Good night, black women. Love yourself. Fuck what these people gotta say.